If people ignore you, it's usually because of one hidden pattern. Number 10. You speak without presence. It never feels like you're being ignored in the beginning. That's what makes it dangerous. There's no clear rejection. No obvious moment where someone says, "You don't matter here." It's softer than that. You're in the conversation, but not fully in it. You speak, but your words don't land the way you expect. You say something, and instead of people reacting, building on it, or even acknowledging it, the conversation just moves on, like your input was never there. And at first, you brush it off. Maybe people didn't hear. Maybe the timing was off. Maybe it just wasn't that interesting. So you try again. But the same thing happens. And here's where the hidden pattern begins. Not in what you say, but in how you enter the moment. Because before you even speak, there's already a signal being sent. A very subtle one. You slightly hold back your energy. You don't fully commit to your presence. Your voice comes out just a little unsure, just a little softer than it should be. Not weak enough to notice, but not strong enough to command attention. You speak like you're testing the space instead of owning it. And people feel that instantly, not consciously, but instinctively, because humans are extremely sensitive to presence. We don't just listen to words. We measure certainty. We measure confidence. We measure whether this person expects to be heard or is hoping to be heard. And that difference is everything. When your presence feels like a question, people treat it like an option, something they can engage with, and most of the time, they don't even realize they're choosing. Number 9. You wait for the right moment. So naturally, you adjust. You tell yourself, maybe I just need better timing. So you start waiting. You wait for the perfect gap. You wait for silence. You wait for a clean opening where nobody is talking, nobody is interrupting, and all attention can smoothly shift to you. But real conversations don't work like that. They're not polite. They're not structured. They overlap. They interrupt. They move fast and change direction constantly. And while you're standing there, waiting for your perfect moment, other people are doing something completely different. They're not waiting. They're entering. They're jumping in mid-flow. They're speaking while the energy is still moving. They're not asking for permission. They're taking space. And slowly, without realizing it, you fall behind the rhythm of the conversation. Not because anyone pushed you out, but because you removed yourself from the flow. You became the person who waits. And here's the uncomfortable truth. People don't pause conversations for people who hesitate. They keep moving. Because attention follows momentum, not politeness. And once you're slightly out of sync, getting back in becomes harder. Because now you're not just waiting for a gap, you're waiting for the right gap. And that gap almost never comes. Number 8. You over-explain your point. Eventually, you do get your moment. You finally speak. And now there's pressure. Because you've been holding your thoughts for so long, you want to say it perfectly. You want to be clear. You want to be understood. You want to make sure it actually lands this time. So you add more words. You explain more than necessary. You build context. You repeat parts in slightly different ways to make sure nothing is misunderstood. And in your mind, you're improving your message. But in reality, you're diluting it. Because attention doesn't reward length. It rewards clarity. The longer you take to reach your point, the more mental effort people need to stay with you. And most people don't stay. Not because they don't respect you, but because their attention drifts. Just slightly. Just enough for someone else to jump in. And when that happens, it feels like interruption. It feels like being ignored again. But what's really happening is more subtle. Your delivery is creating space for others to take over. And once this pattern repeats a few times, people start expecting it. They expect your points to be long. They expect your delivery to be slow. They expect moments where they can step in. So they do. faster, more often. And now it's no longer occasional. It becomes your experience. Number 7, you become the one who reacts, not leads. At this point, something shifts, and it's so subtle you won't catch it happening. You're still part of the conversation. You're still physically there. But your role quietly changes. You're no longer someone who shapes the conversation. You become someone who responds to it. And that sounds small, but in social dynamics, it's everything. Because the people who lead conversations, the ones who introduce topics, shift direction, create momentum, they naturally pull attention toward them. Not because they're louder, but because they control where things go. And then there are people who follow that flow. They react. They add small inputs. They agree. They support. And slowly, without anyone announcing it, you move into that second category. Not because you chose it, but because of the patterns you've been repeating. You waited too much. You held back your presence. You stretched your points. So now, people don't look to you when the conversation needs direction. They don't pause to ask, "What do you think?" They don't naturally give you space. Because in their mental map of the group, you're not the one who drives the moment. You're the one who fills small gaps. And attention? It doesn't go to the person filling gaps. It goes to the person creating them. Number 6, you cut yourself off mid-thought. And then comes a moment that locks this pattern even deeper. You start speaking, and something feels slightly off. Maybe someone checks their phone. Maybe someone looks away. Maybe another person shifts their body like they're about to jump in. It's not obvious. It's not aggressive, but you feel it. That small drop in attention, and instead of pushing through, you adjust. You shorten your sentence. You rush your words. Or worse, you stop completely. Actually, never mind. It's not important. I forgot what I was saying, even when you didn't forget, even when it was important. But in that moment, your brain makes a quick decision. This isn't landing. I should pull back. And that decision feels harmless, even smart. But it does something powerful. It sends a signal, not just to others, but to yourself, that your thoughts are optional, that your voice is flexible, that your contribution can be dropped midway, and it won't matter. And once that signal is repeated enough times, people don't question it. They accept it. Because social behavior isn't judged by intention. It's judged by patterns. Number 5, people stop giving you full attention. Now, the final shift in this phase happens without any words at all. It's in where people look. Pay attention to this in real life. When a group is talking, notice who people naturally face. Notice who they make eye contact with when speaking. Notice whose reactions they wait for. Because attention is visible if you know where to look. And here's what starts happening. When you speak, people don't fully turn toward you. Their bodies stay slightly angled elsewhere. Their eyes drift faster. Their focus doesn't fully lock in. Not because they're trying to disrespect you, but because their brain has already categorized you as someone who doesn't hold attention, someone whose presence doesn't require full focus. And once that categorization happens, it becomes automatic. People don't consciously decide to ignore you. Their attention just doesn't prioritize you anymore. Number 4, you don't anchor your presence. At this stage, it's not even about what you're saying anymore. It's about how you exist in the moment. Most people don't realize this, but before you even speak, your presence is already communicating something. You walk into a conversation slightly unsure, slightly unanchored, like you're testing whether you belong there or not. Your body shifts, your attention moves around, your energy feels temporary, like you can be overridden at any moment. And people don't consciously think about this, but they feel it. They feel whether you are settled or not. Because when someone is grounded, when they pause, hold their position, and exist in the space without rushing, attention naturally starts forming around them. Not because they demanded it, but because they feel stable. And stability pulls focus. But when you rush in, speak quickly, and don't fully settle, your presence feels optional. And anything that feels optional gets treated that way. So even before your words arrive, attention is already slipping. Number 3, you don't let your words land. And even when you do speak, something else quietly weakens your impact. You don't let your words land. You finish one sentence and immediately jump into the next. You're trying to fill every second of silence before someone else takes over. And that comes from discomfort, because silence feels risky. It feels like if you stop, you'll lose the moment. But the opposite is true. Silence is where your words actually gain weight. When you pause, even for a second, people process what you just said. They stay with it. But when you keep talking non-stop, everything blends together. There's no impact point, no moment that stands out, nothing for people to hold on to. So your message passes through instead of landing. And over time, people stop reacting not because your ideas are weak, but because you never gave them space to matter. Number 2, you don't signal importance. Another thing happens that most people completely overlook. You treat everything you say the same. Same tone, same speed, same energy, no variation. And when everything sounds equal, nothing feels important. People don't know what to focus on, so they don't focus at all. Even when you say something valuable, it gets lost because it wasn't delivered with any weight. But attention follows contrast. When something slows down, when your tone drops slightly, when your delivery becomes more deliberate, people instinctively lean in. They feel that something matters. Without that signal, your words become background noise. Not ignored on purpose, just not prioritized. Number 1, you never claimed your space. And this is where everything connects. All the patterns, all the small behaviors, all the subtle signals, they lead to one thing. You never fully claimed your space in the conversation. Not aggressively, not forcefully, but clearly. You held back your presence. You waited too much. You adjusted too often. You pulled back mid-thought. And slowly people learned something without ever saying it out loud, that you don't need space. And in social dynamics, space is not given automatically. It's recognized. It's given to people who show, through their behavior, that their presence matters. So, when you don't hold your ground, when you don't complete your thoughts, when you don't stay steady under attention, people respond to that pattern. They don't decide to ignore you. They just don't prioritize you. And the moment you shift that, when you hold your presence, speak fully, allow silence, and stop adjusting yourself mid-moment, everything changes. Not because people suddenly become different, but because your signal does.